What's up, gamers? This is the Russian Reversal here to talk about Age of Calamity. So I was really excited when this game was announced. I've played the demo and replayed the demo and replayed the demo again and recorded some footage for you here, and just want to give you some quick thoughts because it is going to be released tomorrow as of the time of recording and posting this video. One issue I'd like to just get out in front of here is the frame rate. So while recording the footage, the frame rate wasn't super great, but I think that was more on the capturing side for me. The gameplay, the frame rate isn't fantastic, but to me it was super playable. Dynasty Warriors kind of games where you can be a little forgiving on your exact timing. Not crazy difficult, and this game isn't crazy difficult, at least for the demo standpoint. So your precise timing doesn't worry that much, so I was fine with the frame rate. I mean, of course I love a better frame rate, more consistent 30 or even 60 frames per second would be wonderful, but to me it didn't hamper the gameplay. It was more of a slight drawback than anything else. I really love the game. I have not played Hyrule Warriors. I've only casually played a few Dynasty Warriors games in the past, but I do like the style of gameplay. I've always wanted to get into it, so when you combine probably my favorite game, Breath of the Wild, with the game that I've been interested in for years, it's a pretty exciting time, and I love the story and the lore of Breath of the Wild, so I'm pretty excited about it. Some reviewers have come out and said that the ending is kind of disappointing, and so that makes me a little nervous for playing this game, but honestly, if the gameplay is good and it gives me some new Breath of the Wild experiences, I am still 100% down to play it. For those of you who aren't familiar, this game, basically, like, you have tasks and you try to capture points on the map, and it uses a lot of the UI from Breath of the Wild. So you'll have a very familiar environment for Breath of the Wild fans, and it really focuses on the atmosphere of Breath of the Wild with the gameplay of the Dynasty Warriors series. So to me, this is a great combination. I hope the story is better than reviewers have said, because I really love the gameplay. I love the action elements to it. The RPG elements are interesting. I don't mind kind of grindy stuff. Like, I love old school Pokemon and old school RPGs in general, so grinding is not the end of the world to me, and particularly with kind of the fun animations and action gameplay of Age of Calamity, at least so far in the demo, I'm pretty interested. The other thing that I really want to address as well is the ability to play as the champions and gain more into their stories, their, the atmosphere. You kind of tangentially got into it with Breath of the Wild with, some of the look backs on during the game and kind of the interactions and memories of the characters, but honestly the characters just seem really cool and really fun, and so I'm kind of hoping more for a buddy like experience in playing with these really cool characters and see them developed a little bit more and kind of see them in action and in a very action-oriented game. And just watching these characters just blast through hordes of enemies and kind of feeling admittedly a little godlike and just crushing vast hordes of enemies. Also, it does incorporate a pretty good job of some of the Breath of the Wild elements, so the Sheikah Slate and the styles, you've got your bombs, your stasis, your cryonis. Those elements are fun and kind of mix up the gameplay a little bit, so it's just not all hack and slashing. I tend to focus mostly on the bombs and the hack and slash portion, but you also have like the fury and the parry elements from Breath of the Wild, so it'll be very familiar to Breath of the Wild players. However, if you play the demo and this just type of gameplay does not appeal to you, I probably wouldn't recommend you play it. We'll see how the game goes and if they change things up, but this is a very specific style of gameplay, and so if you're not into that style of gameplay, I would probably pass on this one. So I would recommend this to, Breath of the Wild super fans and players who love that kind of Dynasty Warriors, or if you played Hyrule Warriors, which oddly has gotten a little expensive if you try to find a new copy of it. So might be hard to get a copy unless you get it digitally or secondhand. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I really hope the story is not as bad as the reviewers are saying, because I kind of like that ominous tone. Like, I love like this War of Mine is one of my favorite games, which is not related to this in any way, but I just kind of like ominous tones in games, and I think that's partly why I love Breath of the Wild too. So hopefully the story is really good, but I'm excited to play it. I will be picking it up first thing and be playing it, so let me know what your thoughts are. Have you played the demo? Would you be more interested in a full review once you get around to playing the full game? Let me know in the comments below. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Very rarely, but I do post on TikTok. And if you've got this far, like, subscribe, and I will see you next week.